Hello. Hello and welcome to another episode of Yalla, the podcast of Jewish students brought to you by UJS. I'm Linoy, I'm one of the UJS Shlichot.
And I'm Harry Isaacs, the president of Bristol JSOC as of last year.
Today we are honored to welcome and hear the story of Yalla and Bar Wilker, who in their life making decisions they had to do on the Nova Festival on October 7. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
So Hila was a festival attendee and a bartender, and Bar was a member of the festival production team, and welcome both to the podcast.
Thank you
very much.
So can you tell us a bit about your lives before October 7? Who are you? What's your story?
I have a feeling I'm going to go first. We're both living in Tel Aviv. We were roommates at the time. We were living in an apartment, me, her, and another friend of mine. Living life in Tel Aviv. I had a job as a salesman, and Hila was working in, what was it at the time?
I was a bartender, sport instructor, a lot of things.
Yeah, Tel Aviv life, doing a bit of everything. Both of us were about 25, 26, building up our careers and our lives, each one in a different way, her and her studies and me starting to work. I just got back from vacation with my family. I got back the day of the party itself, so I didn't even get a chance to tell anybody. I don't even remember the trip myself. So that was like a fun way to get into that. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it, something specific.
Who you are, what do you like to do, what did you do before?
I work in sales in a company in Tel Aviv. I have my own production of myself. I work with the Nova as the team that really keeps the nature safe and keeps everything green. Don't use plastic. We had our own like cups that you reuse them and keep everything clean. And I have my own smaller production for like 200, 300 people. It was actually pretty cool. We just did our first party after everything that happened on the weekend before we came here a few days ago. So that was like a next step of like coming back to the things we were doing before. That was really one of my bigger passions. So, you had the fear of if it's gonna really come back after everything happens. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Yeah.
I just moved in August to Tel Aviv. Me and Bar are roommates, as you said. I was a bartender in Tel Aviv in a cool club, serving cocktails every night, having like a great time. I'm a student, learning digital marketing and PR. I'm doing sport, I'm sport instructor. Basically, living my life like the great life that I can have.
So let's go back to that day of the party. What was your first reactions when you saw rockets coming from Gaza? What did you do? What was the situation? Tell us a little bit about that day.
Okay, it's funny, in the party me and Bar wasn't together. Each one of us has a different job.
Until I wanted something to drink.
Yeah, and then he came to my bar. I was a bartender in the party, so I was in my shift when the rockets start. I was looking to the sky and I tell to one of the customers, "Oh my God, look, there is fireworks."
And the funny thing is that's the same thing I said.
Yeah.
Just in a different situation.
And then my bar manager, Alex Lubnav, showed me his cell phone and I saw all the red alarms of the missiles and the rockets. And then I understand, okay, maybe it's not fireworks. And that's understand like what's happening, what's going on.
I was in the middle of like the dance floor itself, just doing my job in the party. And then, like she said, we just saw it in the sky. I was like, wow, I didn't even know they brought fireworks. That's so cool. And then when we saw that it isn't, people just like started jumping on the ground and, like not really understanding. I didn't take it too hard. Like missiles aren't something that was that scary because you're really close to the border. The missiles fly far. They're not going to shoot them for a kilometer. And we were right on the border. So at that point we were like, okay, the party's over. Like I do this myself. I know what's going to happen. So let's get things done so we can go. We all met like back at where all our things were, me and my friends. We met back there and I had an earpiece on me at the time. So like I told them, guys, start like closing everything up and I'll be back in about 5 minutes after I give everything back and then we can leave. We didn't take it too hard. We were like taking our time easy, but just like, let's get out of here. And then when I got back, they told me, yeah, we have a friend in Beersheba that she's waiting for us. She got woken up by the missiles and she's waiting for us there. We'll get to her house, we'll drink coffee, and then we'll like see what we're gonna do. Okay, let's do that. We went out of the party, we got into our car, and then was like, okay, let's go home. And we just started driving.
So then, from that, where were you when you first found out that the Hamas terrorists had gone into the festival and infiltrated and were there shooting?
I was in the main road of the party area. I was alone in my car with my windows on, and I started hearing like weird noise, not about rockets, more like AK noise. And then I got out of my car and I saw a wave of people start running through me and screaming, "They are terrorists, they're all over the place." And slowly the gun shots like sound really closer and closer and from all over the place. And then I saw a car full of bullets hole, a dying police officer and a girl shooting in her leg, and that was the moment I understand that, okay, it's not only rockets.
I was like pretty much in the same place, just a bit closer to really where they were, because we got out pretty fast. So we were just like sitting in the car on the main road and nothing was moving. Like one side, when you wanted to get out with the car, we started to drive out of the festival, and because everyone got out pretty fast because they were pressured, there was a big line. So like my friend saw the line and said like, everyone's going in the wrong direction, we didn't come from here. So he just went around everything and got straight to the main road. So we got before everyone over there, and we just stood there and started seeing people running in our direction, and then we started like boom, boom, boom. So they probably saw them coming.
Yeah.
And then we just got out of the car too and understood that something happened. Like that's not missiles, that's gunshots, and people are running away, so something's happening here. And then we started running in the other direction. Now, like I said, the other direction when you started to go out to the main road was blocked. So everyone went in one direction where it was stuck. The other side was also terrorists, because when we started running to the other direction, we saw them there too. So then we ran back and hid in the middle, inside a bush, on the side of the street, because there was like a street, and we went down for a bit, so you couldn't like move out on the side of the street with the car, and we just hid there, inside a bush, just like waiting for things to stop, because there was like nowhere to go.
Okay, so what kind of decisions did you have to make on the day that ultimately kind of ended up saving your lives? So what moments were there when you thought we could go this way, that way? Like what was going through your head, and what was the thought process, and how did you come to the decisions that you came to?
There's so many choices and decisions that if I would make a different decision, I probably wouldn't be here. For example, I stayed in the party area for 1 hour. I was sitting, I was grabbing a chair in the open field and watching 2,000 rockets flying above my head, because I have an inner gut, something told me that I need to sit down, so I was sitting down. And apparently the first people that got out with the car, they are the first one to meet the terrorists, because the terrorists ambushed in the bushes in the main road. So my first choice to stay in the party area saved my life, because otherwise I would meet the terrorist. I think there's a lot of choices. If to go back, to stay, to run, to hide, to try to drive in a car, or to run by foot. What to do, where to go, like so many choices. And yeah, I can.
There's not really any right decisions, because at the end of the day, if I would take the whole story back and think about it like in a neutral situation at home, I would say definitely whoever's at the party, run to the army base in Re'im right next to the party. That's probably the safest place to be. You have soldiers there. But at that time, that base was already conquered, and whoever ran in that direction was killed. And same about running into the closest village and trying to hide inside someone's house.
And
so we're already
shelters. And bomb shelters,
and being in a bomb shelter when there's bombs. But whoever was in the bomb shelter was closed there, and they just grenades inside. So what's the right decision? So at the end of the day, you just have to really feel the situation and act fast to things that are happening. And that was what we did in that situation when we were in the bush. After a while sitting there, the police officer came to us and started yelling at everyone to run west into the woods, into the open field. And that's like from the videos that everyone sees, like an open field and people running and falling down. And when we got there, we saw that people were falling down in the field running, so we took a left and ran through the side of the group. Because in the middle of the group, that's where they're going to shoot from behind, so we ran from the side through the trees. And it took us a few seconds more to get there, so you don't know if that's right, or just keep running. but that saved us because people on the side didn't fall
Yeah.
down. So there are decisions that you can make, but it's not like right decisions.
Yeah.
It's just being in the situation and seeing one thing out of 100 that was just luckily the right thing to see and acting on it.
You're in a fight mode. You just don't think, you just do.
Yeah.
Okay. The story just takes you to a lot of thoughts and places. How did you stay strong after experiencing something like this? What keeps you motivated?
That's a tough question because you try to get a little bit from everything. In this type of situation, you just like, I'm a really controlling person. I usually like say no, everything's good, and I take it inside and do what I need to do. And in this situation, I want to put the power to what's going to happen with me in the next few weeks, not my hands, because I'm not sure if I can make the right decisions. So it was family and it was friends. We went, me and the 4 other friends, 2 of our friends took us to their house and took care of us for 2-3 weeks, and we were just living there with them, their parents, making us food, making our laundry. And we were just like, putting our hands up, saying, okay, this time we can sit back and let people take care of us. So that was a lot, and more than that was the thought that we survived and others didn't. And that means that we have to make the best out of what we have here. And that's what we're trying to do, and that keeps you just trying to go forward.
For me in the beginning, I did a lot of interviews to the world, like the world media. For me, it was like my reserve duty, like the way I can volunteer to my friends that are gone or to my friends that are holding hostages in Gaza, just to share my story, to speak about what's going on in Israel in the first 2 weeks. After that, I realized it's not doing really good to my mental health, so I stopped. And a group of people, volunteering people, opened a therapeutic place center in the middle of Israel, just for the Nova survivors. I went there every day from 12 p.m. until 8 p.m. From
12 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah, oh, it makes sense, okay.
You're good.
I was there all day long with my friends. I met a lot of people. I shared my story. People shared their story with me. So it's really helped me to get through this time period.
Tell us a little bit about the Nova community now. Like, what happened after the party?
It's
after the event?
amazing. I think I have so many new friends. A lot of friends that I can consider like my really, really friends that I can share with them everything, thoughts, belief, feelings. If I'm not feeling well, if I want to cry, if I want to scream, probably I'm going to go to my Nova friends that I met them 1 month ago, then my home friends, because they understand what's going on, they understand my feeling, my thoughts, and thanks to them I'm not feeling alone.
The whole psytrance community concept is something that whoever isn't inside of it can't really understand how powerful it is and how much of a way of life it is by going with that. And this event just empowered the meaning of it when it happened, and for the first time in history, the community that it happened to, instead of just fighting and saying we'll be okay and going forward, took a sec to sit back, think about what happened, and take care of the people who were inside of it, and really give the attention needed to it. And they showed how powerful a family like that and a community like that just goes by the idea of freedom and love, how powerful that can be in a situation like this. And we took it to such an amazing place in each one of the communities that I know that I'm in today of that type, each one in a different way, and it gives you life, gives you power.
So, like, in time, what's your plans for the future? Are you looking to go back to sales, go back to bartending, change of like career path, life path? And what's your thought process at the moment about kind of what your plans are for the future?
I changed apartments. Like, we both moved out of the apartment we were living in and kind of needed like a change. I moved to an apartment alone, like that was kind of like space that I needed, and she moved like back to her parents' house, and we needed like safety, you know.
Yeah.
And at work, like You moved to work, so you moved to
Yeah.
a new job.
I decided to quit my job as a bartender for now. I will be in the future, but for now it's too much for me. And I'm going to finish my university degree, but I'm probably not going to do this job anymore. I want to go more to the Jewish Israel Asbara world to represent Israel in the world and to share, the Jewish life with people that not living in Israel. And I'm changing the direction, like from October 7, like to a different way.
It just gives you a kind of a new perspective on things.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Like some things, I had a new perspective on them, and I still like them being in my life, and maybe just in a bit of a different way, or in different places. In work, I kind of had a nice work environment, so that was nice to get back to. It really pushed me to achieve and gave a real feeling that everything can still be okay, that we're still on track and things haven't changed that much. So for me, that was like a safe place. That was surprising, but it was.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And like I said, the party that we just did, we were kind of, we didn't know if to do it or not. And then when we did it, people were like, this gave me a way to get back to my life, a way to have a weekend on and not think of anything of this.
Yeah.
So I think that is definitely something we're going to do very closely more, and give people the opportunity to just not only keep thinking about this and have a few seconds to, after you're in the military going back, or just working without a stop, and have a second to.
So it was a real honour to hear your story, a great pleasure and privilege. Why do you think it's so important to go out there and share your story with the world?
I can say for me, I know that Jewish people not from Israel really suffer these days, and if you don't hear the story and don't see the news, you don't understand why we're suffering. And for me to come and share with you guys the story, it's like give you the reason why you need to fight. You're just like, okay, I understand why I'm fighting now. Like, what is the reason?
Yeah.
People really been through what we heard about the news. It's not fake. They're really people that see and heard and experience different things. And for me, it's to give me like opportunity to share my story and to my mental health, and for you guys to keep fighting for who you are.
Mm.
I just feel like we have to do much more of our life now than what we did before, so I'm just gonna keep on fighting and keep on doing the best way that I can for me and for everyone around me, just so when they look back and try and see what happened, they're gonna see that they just made a mistake because we got stronger. And that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we're gonna do a bit of a fun question.
Okay.
Go for it.
So, we're switching the mood now. So favorite Jewish food? Go.
Mafroum.
Oh,
Well, you need to explain what it is.
Okay,
for
mafroum
people
is
that
Is it
don't know.
Moroccan.
Jewish?
It's Moroccan, and that's like.
like Israeli style.
Yeah, there's
This
not
is
too much
Jewish
Israeli
food.
food. I'm talking about like grandma food from Israel.
Matzo
Okay,
balls,
okay,
like-
Yeah. So mafroum is like you put in like a pot, and it's layers of potatoes and meats, or like yams and meats, every time different vegetable, and it's inside like a red sauce, and you eat it on couscous, and that you guys know what it is, I hope.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
yeah,
know.
yeah.
We know.
And it's just like, it feels like home, you know. I love it.
I would say Israeli salad, but like I'm not
God.
Jewish, but this is my favorite dish. Yeah.
You're gonna say
No, don't do it. Listen, I have an obsession to Israeli salad. I can eat it 3 times a day, like
See,
for
I
breakfast.
can
It's
back
a
that
really
up.
good
Yeah.
salad, you're right.
No, I can, that's,
It's great salads.
It is.
Another quick fire question, but less on the fun side. What would your message be to Jewish students today?
You're not alone. We know what you're going through. We're trying to stay strong for you guys too. Keep fighting. Share the truth. Don't be shy and hide who you are. And that's it. We are together. We are the same nation. We're the same people. We love each other. We need to be stronger together.
my message is for people, not only Jewish, but any other student who hears this, just to not only listen with your eyes or your ears, but really think to the base of things when you hear them, what they mean, where they come from, and why someone would say them, and understand the things that you think and just be proud of who you are.
I will add, if you read something, do a research. Make sure if what to the both of the
Don't
sides,
just hear.
not
Yeah.
just one side.
And repeat.
I think if a lot of students around the UK had these messages, I think life would be a much better and more
Yeah.
positive place for Jewish students around the whole country.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the point.
yeah. So thank you so much. It was a real honour. Thank you. It was amazing to hear your story. It was an honour. And yeah, really thank you for coming.
We also want to thank the Jewish Agency for Israel to help UJS to do together a Nova delegation Nova Survivors delegation to the UK. And thank you, Yalla and Bar, for taking part in this episode.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more podcasts and keep up to date via our social media at UJS_UK.
Thank you for your time.